In the United States, roughly 1/3 of individuals are diagnosed with some level of chronic pain. Now, historically, pain has been treated with medicine, opioid-based medications. If you're watching this, you may be aware of the opioid epidemic. That's what it's been called, the volume of medicine that has been prescribed to people suffering from chronic pain in the United States. Some people have turned to marijuana. Now, in the wake of the opioid epidemic, there are a lot of questions about medical marijuana, medical cannabis. Cannabinoids are any number of a class of chemicals produced by the cannabis sativa plant, or the marijuana plant. Now, what these cannabinoids do is they cause physiological reactions in the body. We ingest a cannabinoid, the cannabinoid has a reaction in the body. It can produce a high, it can produce a psychoactive effect, but other cannabinoids have different reactions in the body. In fact, over 100 different cannabinoids have been discovered in the cannabis sativa plant. Some other common names for the cannabis plant are phytocannabinoids or hemp oil extract. All of these names describe chemicals that come from the same plant and produce similar effects on the endocannabinoid system in the human body. Research discovered cannabinoid receptors in the brains of rats back in 1988. Over the next 15 years, as research unfolded, people looked into the humans and into other animals and discovered an entire endocannabinoid system, endo meaning in the body. In this system, research identified two types of receptors. These were called CB1 receptors and CB2 receptors. Now, why is this important? The receptors are located in different parts of the body in different concentrations. CB1 receptors are more heavily concentrated in the brain. The CB1 receptor is where THC has its greatest effect. That's why we feel a sensation of high when delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC, is ingested. CB2 receptors are more heavily concentrated in the immune system and the central nervous system. When cannabinoids enter the human body, they fit into one of these receptors, kind of like a pool ball going into a hole on the pool table. What happens when the cannabinoid enters the receptor is a cascade of physiological responses, ranging from a high all the way to reduced anxiety, potentially reduced inflammation. There are any number of effects that can happen in the human body when the CB receptor receives a cannabinoid. Yes, much like other vitamins and minerals can be extracted from their original sources, it is possible to segregate cannabinoids from their original source. It is possible to segregate individual cannabinoids. Some processes using pressurized carbon dioxide and specialized equipment can help us accomplish this. We can separate CBD from the THC or other cannabinoids so that we can take advantage of things that are potentially beneficial while avoiding things that may be potentially harmful. If you're considering utilizing a product that contains phytocannabinoids, it's important to look for companies that utilize independent third-party laboratories to test their products. By doing so, you can be confident that what you're taking is a product that has 0% THC. The legality of cannabinoids varies from state to state, and there are different interpretations of the law at the federal level and the state level. At the federal level, controlled substances are controlled by the Controlled Substance Act. Now, according to this act, substances that come from the mature stalk of the cannabis sativa plant are excluded. Any product derived from the mature stalk of the plant is excluded from the Controlled Substances Act. However, that's at the federal level. Different states have different laws and different legalities. It's important to understand what is legal in your state. Cannabinoids have demonstrated many potential benefits, including relief from nausea, reduced inflammation, reduced anxiety, improved sleep, reducing the intensity and length of seizures. It's important to understand that the endocannabinoid system is a part of the body's homeostasis process. The body wants to get to a certain point and stay the same. That's part of our natural survival tool. Any system in the human body that is involved in homeostasis, any organ, any cell, stands to benefit from phytocannabinoid usage. As we talk about cannabinoids and opioids, it's important to understand that opioids do not relieve inflammation. Opioids do not reduce anxiety. Opioids act in a very different manner. They do a lot to help a patient not feel bad, but nothing to help the patient feel good, nothing to help the patient improve. I've heard stories of phytocannabinoid supplementation where individuals who were on high-dose opioids were forced to come down. This is a very stressful experience for a lot of patients, but supplementation with phytocannabinoids helped one patient come down significantly on his opioids. Not only did he come down on his dangerous medications, but his quality of life improved, and he credits that to phytocannabinoid supplementation. Not just with opioids, but with other medications. I've heard of individuals who stopped taking their arthritic medication for osteoarthritis because they finally got relief. I've heard of a patient who was taking Botox injections, several needles to the face a few times a year to relieve his chronic migraines. He was able to stop those injections thanks to phytocannabinoid supplementation. How much is beneficial may be dependent on how much the individual needs. In the pain clinic that I manage, we encourage patients to start low and work their way up. We've seen benefits ranging from 25 milligrams a day all the way up to 100 milligrams a day with no side effects. People who try phytocannabinoid supplements, as with any other dietary supplement, are encouraged to start low and work their way up slowly to assess efficacy. At this point in time, no negative side effects have been associated with phytocannabinoids, even at doses well above efficacy. We know that phytocannabinoids work in a different manner from non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. They don't work through the GI system. They are not COX inhibitors. Therefore, there is no threat of GI bleed when taking phytocannabinoids as compared to other non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. However, as with any other dietary supplement or medication, individuals who want to try phytocannabinoids are encouraged to start low, work their way up slowly, work with a physician, and pay attention to any health concerns along the way.